And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe on the way, in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly fantastic day today. So let's get right into this. This is not Fanboy Friday, but when I read this comment, I said I have to do a video on this because this particular LeBron James fanboy hit a new level of delusion. And to that I say congratulations, because delusion, getting better at delusion is obviously what you're going for. And you're doing a good job. Matter of fact, you're doing a better job than your king does working on his basketball skills. But yeah, this is, wow, people, get ready for this. We've heard a lot of delusional things from LeBron James fans, but this one is like a new level. So hopefully this is going to be a short video. This is not a Fanboy Files. This is strictly about this one fanboy who has enough delusion to be fanboy 1 through 1,000. He's a few fanboys combined with this level of ridiculousness. But anyway, without further ado, brace yourself, people. Brace yourself for this one. I've never heard this one before. So let's go. So fanboy number 1 through 1,000, he says, LeBron James being blamed for forming a super team is the dumbest argument in sports. LeBron never owned an NBA team. LeBron was never a GM of an NBA team. LeBron could not form a super team unless an NBA franchise was complicit. Every NBA team wanted a LeBron-led super team in all caps. Remember the decision, ? In all caps. Why didn't Pat Riley say no? This isn't fair for the NBA. Spoelstra could have said no. I can't coach this team. Oh. Okay, let me restate that. Spoelstra could have said no. I can't coach this team. It's not fair to have a super team. Dan Gilbert hated LeBron for leaving, so why did he jump to sign LeBron as soon as he had a chance to? Dan Gilbert could have told LeBron to kick rocks, but he didn't. Why? Why did Magic Johnson and the Lakers sign LeBron if they thought LeBron was a loser? Nothing that LeBron haters say have any basis in reality, and in fact contradicts the way actual smart NBA people in all caps think about basketball. LeBron has 4 rings and 10 finals appearances, period, and all the opinions to the contrary are inconsequential. Wow. Man, I tell you what, for weeks I've been saying you fanboys haven't come up with anything new, but this is a new one right here. I have never heard this amount of delusion in one paragraph. Okay, so let's go. So first of all, he says LeBron has 4 rings and 10 finals appearances, period, and all the opinions to the contrary are inconsequential. Well, fanboy, I hope you in particular are listening to this. I'm not gonna say your name though, because you guys don't deserve to even have a name. I'm sorry, you really don't. But if it was so inconsequential, why does your king beg for respect? This is the question. Like, see, you guys try to defend him by saying, oh, well, anybody else's opinion doesn't matter. But clearly it does, fanboy. Clearly, if it truly did not matter, LeBron James would not be saying, I want my respect too. Clearly, LeBron James would not have to call himself the GOAT. Clearly, LeBron James would not unfollow people on Twitter for making a negative statement about him if all these things were so inconsequential. Fanboy, make that make sense, first of all. And clearly, if it was so inconsequential, you wouldn't have took the time from doing nothing in your life. You wouldn't have took the time away from you wasting your life to write this paragraph if it was so inconsequential. Let's go with that first. But okay, now let's start from the top. He says LeBron being blamed for forming a super team is the dumbest argument in sports. LeBron never owned an NBA team. LeBron was never a GM of an NBA team. LeBron could not form a super team unless an NBA franchise was complicit. All right, Fanboy, I see you really don't understand how life works and how the NBA works, so let me explain this to you. The job of the franchise is to get the best players that they can possibly get. That is actually their job. And throughout the history of the NBA, there have been plenty of championship teams loaded with talent. From Bill Russell to Larry Bird to Magic Johnson. One of the things that makes Michael Jordan special is that he did it with one other All-Star. But the job of the franchise is, in fact, Fanboy, to get as much talent as possible. Now, I'm going to try to explain this to you ridiculous people one more time. It does matter if a player decides to do it. When you are a superstar in the NBA, that means that you are supposed to be one of the best players in the NBA. That means that your competition is the other best players in the NBA. But let me go even further than that, because obviously you are competing against anybody in the NBA. I'm sure that's what you fanboys are thinking. But here's the thing, but your greatness is tested against the best players of the NBA. So if someone says Kevin Durant is the best, well, the only way you can prove that he's not better than you is to beat him. And again, if you're going to be a superstar in the NBA, it requires, well, the best superstars have three things. They have the skill, they have the will, and they have the leadership. So you have to prove that your combination of these things are better than the other superstars. That's what gives you the argument to say that you are actually better than these guys. Michael Jordan, again, he was able to win more with less help than other superstars have had. This is part of what makes Michael Jordan so great, is the overcoming that he had to do. Is he didn't have a bunch of Hall of Famers and All-Stars on his team like a lot of people who have won championships. Now, let's go back to LeBron James. Had LeBron James won with the squad that he had, and I know it was a few changes over the years, but in general, if he had won with the squad that he had the first time, before he left Cleveland, he would have gotten a lot more credit for the win, because he wouldn't have done it by picking a bunch of superstars. He would have gotten a lot more credit, because then he could say, hey, I overcame my circumstances, and people would give him credit for that. Fanboy, I know this is something that you really don't understand, and I know I am talking to a brick wall, even less than a brick wall. Your comprehension has to be less than a brick wall to write this paragraph. But yeah, it is how you overcome something that makes what you do worth more in the eyes of the fans. You are not a fanboy. You must worship LeBron James. Like, you are something different. I call you fanboys because it's hilarious to me. But you are actually not, well, I take that back. You're a fan of LeBron James, the person, but you are not a fan of basketball. Fans of basketball, fans of sports, appreciate the players and the teams that overcome circumstances. This is the point of competition, fanboy. Matter of fact, let me read the definition of competition to you, because maybe you fanboys don't understand. So there's a couple of definitions here. Competition, the activity or condition of competing. Another one is an event or contest in which people compete. And last but not least, fanboy, the person or people with whom one is competing, especially in a commercial or sporting arena. It is the opposition. Again, so LeBron James, if he is indeed a superstar, he is supposed to be proving how good he is against the other superstars. This is where the judgment comes in. When Michael Jordan, when he was competing, people were comparing him to Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. This is the compare. They weren't comparing him to James Worthy. They weren't comparing him to Kevin McHale, even though these are great players. But these are not the superstars of the league. Magic Johnson is the superstar. Kareem was the superstar. Larry Bird was the superstar. They weren't comparing Michael Jordan to Dennis Johnson. Again, you get compared, you judge your greatness against the greats. You judge your greatness against the best, not against the mediocre. So if you stack a team full of the greatest players by your own choice, you are saying to everyone that I am not willing to prove that I am better than these players. You are saying to everyone that I am not willing to try to do what it takes to overcome. You are saying to everyone that I am not willing to build my legacy. To build my legacy from scratch. You are saying I am taking a shortcut by putting the best players all on one team, upsetting the balance of the NBA, and therefore, by default, the teams that you play are going to have less talent because you have loaded your team with a lot of the talent. Therefore, no wonder LeBron James has 10 trips to the final, fanboy. Is that so hard to understand? I mean, my goodness. Oh boy, okay. Let's see, where are we at here? Why didn't Pat Riley say no? This isn't fair for the NBA. Pat Riley is a coach. Pat Riley's job is to coach whatever team they put together. Fanboy, I'm starting to get some understanding for you guys now. I'm actually glad you wrote this, because what you wrote is giving us more insight. We're studying you guys. like we're studying you guys, trying to figure out how your mind works and how you come up with such ridiculous things. But I've come up with something. This has been insightful. Here's what I come up with, fanboy. You guys don't believe in competition. You guys don't believe in competition. Like, you watch sports for the to be a fan, to be a groupie of a player. This is why you like sports. To you is more like music now. It's like being a fan of, you know, of Michael Jackson. You know, it's like being a fan of Future or whoever you guys like, you know. But this is what sports is to you now. The sports is not about the competition to you guys. And this is why you guys have such a hard time hearing criticisms about your king. And this is why the delusion runs so high that you could actually write this in my comments, as if like you don't know anything about how sports function at all. Fanboy, yeah, we're gonna wrap this video up. Sports, for all you fanboys out there, listen. Sports is supposed to be, at one point it was about competition. Like, this is why your king didn't really like Kobe Bryant. Because Kobe Bryant was a competitor. Kobe Bryant wasn't passive aggressive. Like, he'd tell you to your face that he'd drop 40 on you. You know, Kobe was the last of that type of player. Kobe was the last one who was actually keeping competition alive in the NBA. But your king has no interest in competition, and neither do you guys. Like, you guys are more a fan of how something looks. Like, you just want to appear like you guys just want the praise. Like, you guys want to be praised just like your king. This is what you guys respect and what you're a fan of. But you're not really a fan of competition. Matter of fact, I'm not even sure you actually truly know what that means. But let me try to break it down for you really quick. Fanboys, competing is not, let me put it this way. If you are trying to prove you're the best, fanboys, then you have to do it by beating the best. It's really this simple. If you are trying to prove you're the best, you have to do it by beating the best. Now, it's one thing if you end up on a team that wasn't your choice. Again, back in the day, this is another thing that I realize a lot of you young fanboys don't understand. Like, you think that how the NBA works today is how the NBA has always worked. So I hear you guys say things like, oh, well, Michael Jordan went and got Dennis Rodman. Michael Jordan didn't go get anybody. The front office did its job, and that's how Rodman ended up on the Bulls. Just because things work this way today, this is not how things always were. This is another disconnect with some of you fanboys, especially some of you younger fanboys. The older ones, there's no hope for you guys because you should know better. But you younger fanboys, this is what I realized. You think that how things work in the NBA today is how they have always been. But I've said it before, I'll say it again. Look, it matters the choice that you make as an individual. Like, if you have the choice to go join the people who are supposed to be the players who are arguably as great or greater than you in the league, this is your competition. This is who you're proving yourself again. If you have the choice and you make that choice to say, I want to go join him instead of beat him, you have already shown your lack of competitiveness. You have shown your lack of belief in yourself. And you have ruined what your legacy could be. Because fanboys, you guys can kick and scream and cry all you want, but the reality of it is your legacy is only as good as the journey to get there. Is only as good as the obstacles you had to face to get there. And the more obstacles you had to face to overcome it, not by taking shortcuts, fanboys, not by joining the best players, but actually working with what you have to get over it, to get over the hump, then your legacy becomes even greater. And this is not just in sports, fanboys. This is in everything. We respect the people who are able to come from nothing and build it by themselves. This is what gets respected the most. Now, yes, two people can have $10 million, but the respect will not be the same for the one who $10 million was handed to him. This is what you need to understand. Two people can have $1 billion, but the respect level will not be the same for the one who took shortcuts, for the one whom the $1 billion was handed, or for the one who found ways to take the shortcut to the $1 billion, versus the one who built it from scratch every step of the way. That person's respect level is gonna be on a level that other person cannot attain. This is where your king is at, fanboys. Yes, he has 1.5 championships. 4 to you guys. To me, he has 1.5 championships. Yes, he has 10 finals appearances, but his respect level is not top 50. This is why he has to beg for respect. This is why you fanboys are crying and why you will continue to cry. Anyway, we're gonna hold up here, people, but yeah, this was amazing. I just couldn't believe what I read. Hey, fanboys, like I said, if your goal is to be as delusional as possible, you're on your way. Congratulations, you reached a new level. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think about these LeBron James fanboys? I mean, they're reaching new levels. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a truly fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.